Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Amani Center. It is lovely to see your faces today on this beautiful Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday experience. So, we are going to open things up today with a song by our guest artist, Deb Smith.
Good morning, Amani. Thank you. Anyone who is familiar with this old song from the Birds that I believe was written off of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, help me sing it. Turn, turn, turn. Right? To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time for pain, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time that you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, and a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. And to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. A time for every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to reap, and a time to sow. A time for love, and a time for faith, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. One more. For everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. Thank you. I forgot my glasses.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Deb. Just wonderful. So, do we have any kids in the house? I believe we do because my own are here as well. Have they left already, Gina, or are they on their way out? Okay. Maybe this will make you giggle a little bit, but every time I read this slide, I think, release the Kraken. So, let us release the kids to go have their fun day today. Thank you. I believe they're going with Marie. Thanks, guys. My name is Nicole, by the way, if you don't know who I am. But welcome, everyone. We're super happy that you're here. And I think that this time that's going on right now, we have a bunch of graduations happening. It's the end of the school year, and then the beginning of, almost the beginning of summer, it feels like. Such beautiful weather. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We like to read our vision statement together. So if you all can see that behind me, we'll just read that out loud together. It's very powerful. So we are lighting the path to peace together. Thank you. Good job. Who are we? We are an open and inclusive spiritual community, and we also believe that there are many paths to the divine. I always like to say and think about we're open at the top, there's not one way to do this, and it's all about love, right? It's how do we get to that space of love? It's a place to learn, grow, and be, and it's safe and welcoming and a place for you to fill your cup. So we have this Sunday experience, and I'm about to get into our announcements and tell you all of the other wonderful things that we have going on here. But before that, I'd also love to ask, is there anyone that is here for the first time? You want to raise your hand? Okay. If there's anyone online that's watching for the first time as well, and anybody here that may not have raised their hand, we have a special gift for you. So if you would like to go either pick up the gift, or if you need it mailed to you if you're watching online, we'd be super happy to do that. So just send us a DM on our social medias or send us an email. Go to our website. Another beautiful thing that we offer here, absolutely free, is affirmative prayer. So we have this amazing group of people that have spent years studying, doing the work that we call it, that will assist you in whatever it is that you might be going through. And not only that, so if there's support that you need for something that you're struggling with, on the flip side of that, if you're trying to manifest something in your life, affirmative prayer is another beautiful way to get that assistance. So, Circle of Light, would you mind raising your hand for me just so we can see who the practitioners are? Thank you. I think I see another one walking in too. But if you would like affirmative prayer of any kind, they are available to you after service. So just go ahead and see them when we're finished here. Moving on to our announcements, and this is exciting. So we are at our last Sunday of the month, May 25th, and we are going to hear a talk by the amazing Reverend Sherry Wynn this morning. Woohoo! Yes. And our lineup for June is super exciting. The theme that we have going on for the month of June is Allow Grace. So June 1st, we'll have our ministerial intern, Lucian Baker, who's always just an amazing speaker, brings very different and amazing messages to us. And then on June 8th, our lovely Reverend Pixie Dufour. June 15th, we have Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, which we haven't had in a while. So he always brings an amazing message too. June 22nd, we have Sherry Wynn again, Reverend Sherry Wynn. And then on June 29th, we will have Reverend David Clark. So we have two guest speakers that we haven't seen in a while. So that's always wonderful for us to mix it up, Just want to bring this to your attention if you haven't heard about it before. On Thursdays at 11:11, we have a group of people that are getting together just to support each other. It's kind of a weird time in the world right now. And I think that's true for everybody. But they're getting together, meditating, praying, talking about what may be weighing heavy on them at the time. And I've been to it one time, and it was really nice. I felt lighter after I went. And I think the connection and the community that's created at this space is really a good thing. So feel free to join in on that if you have the time. And then these are our weekly connections. So we have a group of people also that meet to study A Course in Miracles, and that is at Mark's house. Yeah? And I always forget the day. This is at Thursdays also from 3 p.m. to 4:30. Every Saturday, and I feel like this is not something that people are taking enough advantage of, we get together and meditate together. So 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's an absolutely free meditation where, one of the staff here will guide you through meditation and breath work, and it's just another opportunity to make that connection, you know? Just like you're here today, it's one more opportunity to make that beautiful divine connection that you can. And then yoga, Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m. It's chair yoga, so it's very, very gentle, and it happens over at the dance studio. That's kitty corner to here. So right over here, another donation-based service that we offer, and yoga is another beautiful healing modality. So take advantage of that if you can. All right. This is another thing. We need your help. So we are still looking for volunteers for things such as facilities, events, marketing, and or technology. So if you have any time to give or anything to contribute, please, you could speak to me after service. I also have a clipboard table over there that has different things that you can sign up for. So if you feel called or if you have the extra time, it's not something that is, you're not signing your life away. It's not written in blood or anything like that. Anything that you contribute would be so gratefully appreciated. We are going to Pride again this year. I have been with Amani the last 2 summers, I believe, and it is such a beautiful experience. Marcy, our Sunday Experience Director, and myself, the first year, we did, what is it called? Mom Hugs. Thank you for reminding me. I wore a sticker that said, "I'm giving free hugs," and children of parents who may not accept their children because of their orientation, let's just say there were lots of tears and lots of gratitude. So it was a very beautiful experience. This is another thing that if you have the time, there are 3-hour shifts available, and I have a clipboard back there if you'd like to join us. Just a fun, happy experience if you've never been. I have to tell you guys about this too. On May 30th, we have a transformational breathwork journey that's coming up with this lovely lady named Stephanie Dawn. My understanding is, and breathwork is something that I do on a daily basis, but this is supposed to be something a little bit different. She kind of compares it to, she says it's almost like a psychedelic experience without actually taking a substance. So it's a 90-minute breathwork session where you may reach different levels of consciousness. And the idea behind this is that you reach the unconscious mind to heal things that might be stuck in there, you know? Also, maybe reach different levels in your life. We have these things that are holding us back sometimes from reaching our goals or reaching our highest desires, and we don't even know what they are because they're in that unconscious piece of us. And this breath work is intended for you to kind of dig in there and release that stuff. So I'm super excited about it. May 30th, it's a Friday from 6 to 7:30. Please join us if that's something that you're interested in. Another exciting workshop that we have going is Tree of Life ornament making with Nina Liu. And we've done one of these before. It wasn't a tree of life, but if you have a chance after service, we have one of the ornaments that we made hanging back by the desk over there so you can get an idea of what it is that you create. But it's a beautiful meditative experience because we use crystals as well. So we make the ornament, and once you're finished with the ornament, you set an intention for it. So it's almost like an anchor for you. You know, whatever your intention is for this beautiful ornament that you've made, you kind of infuse it with your intention through that meditation. So beautiful healing experience. That is on June 22nd, right after service. So it starts at 12:30 and then until 2 o'clock. This is another exciting thing that we have coming. With our amazing Master Reiki Practitioner, Rev Pixie Dufour, and Miss Vicky Morgan. They are hosting a Reiki 1 certification, and this is happening on June 28th. I believe that's a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So it's an all-day event. Now, I think my perception of getting Reiki certified would mean that I'm going to potentially use this on other people. I have to bring it to your attention that that's not necessarily the case. If you become Reiki certified, it's a healing modality for yourself, you know? It's a healing experience for yourself. So if you've been wanting, you've been interested, if you've ever thought about doing it, I highly recommend, because we have some powerhouses that are teaching this workshop, and please take advantage of that. You can go to our website to sign up if you're ready to do that. All right, so I'm done with the announcements. Thank you for putting up with that. And if you could please silence your phones, that would be greatly appreciated, just so we don't have anything going off during service. And next, we will have our amazing Reverend Sherry Wynn bless the service today. Thank you.
So I want you to help me. Nothing is done here by means of one person. This is a community of shared experiences, of energy. And so when I ask you to help me in the blessing of the service, I want you to open yourself to the divine source in you, whatever that might be, to that power, that presence, that love. It's beyond the place that's hard, and it's kind of soft and available to you. And then just let my words travel through you, and if anything inside of you you want to add a thought or a message or a feeling, we're sending this out into the universal collective whole, which is where we all live as individuals. So this has purpose. So just close your eyes. And we welcome this light, this oneness, this wholeness of being that resides everywhere, including inside of us. And we tap into it now with a willingness and an appreciation of it bringing us life every day. And so we send a message of well-being and goodness and love and light to ourselves, to our families, to our work settings, to our community, to the whole world. We send a message of love and light to all of humanity everywhere, trusting that it shows up to those that are in need, opens the hard places, those that look dark and dismal. We send this love and light into what appears to be violent and different. And we trust that this power of unity and goodness knows how to do what is the highest and best for all of life everywhere. And with great gratitude, we accept this as being so, knowing that it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
Our beautiful Kathy Wilson up to do our affirmation today. I'm sorry, Reverend Kathy. Okay. I know. My sincere apologies. Yeah.
So it's time for an affirmation. It's brought to us by the wonderful, powerful Reverend Sherry Wynn. We'll do it 3 times. The first time with enthusiasm. The second time in our quiet voice. And then in the third time, please be silent as I share the affirmation with you. Let us begin. My reality reflects the truth of my divine self, which functions through love and grace. My reality reflects the truth of my divine self, which functions through love and grace. My reality reflects the truth of my divine self, which functions through love and grace. And together we say, and so it is. Now we'll have another wonderful song by Deb.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice. The sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. And this is the sound of voices 3, singing together in harmony and surrendering to the mystery. Oh, this is the sound of voices 3. This is the sound of voices 3. Ooh, and this is the sound of all of us, singing together with the will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it will turn to dust. For this is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. Now this is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. Yes, this is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
In the sacred space that Deb so beautifully helped us to go to with her song. Let us remember the power and presence within each and every one of us. It is the one voice. It is the one light. We are the I am that I am. And so we anchor in that, connect to that sacred, sacred source that has many names and many paths, but it is all one. So we go within, releasing the busyness of the day, quieting our minds and opening our hearts. Let us meditate where we commune with our source, the great I am. As we gently come back into the room, bringing with us that consciousness of our communion with Source. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. We're now going to do a spiritual mind treatment. There is only one power, one presence in the universe, this wonderful, expanding, lively universe that we live in. And this power and presence flows in each of us, as each of us, and through each of us and all of its creation. And as such, we are the physical expression of that one mind, that infinite divine intelligence that guides and directs all of us to our highest and best good. We go forth in our days, our weeks, and our months, rising to our consciousness of peace, love, prosperity, and all the attributes of spirit, compassion, understanding, acceptance. And so we are grateful for that. Those are gifts that we are born with. It is our inheritance to be the light and the love everywhere we go, everyone we touch, in all situations and conditions, regardless of whether it's full of love and happiness and joy, or it might be conflicted or turbulent. We know that regardless of whatever situation or condition we are facing, the truth is we are meant to live in the highest and best. I am so grateful for this, knowing that Spirit has our back, always and in everything, regardless. All we have to do is be open to receive, as it is so freely given to us through that source of life, that source of happiness, joy, contentment. Thank you, Spirit. I release this word into the universal law, knowing it is so and it is done. I let God be God, or whatever name you give it. I release and let go, knowing the truth of who we are, always. And together we say, and so it is. Another song, Deb.
Okie dokie. It's kind of a sweet song from Jesse Winchester from years ago about letting go and trusting. Well, if you love somebody, then that means that you need someone. And it's a funny thing that's gonna make you a little bit weak. But if you know that you're weak, and you know that you need someone, it's a funny thing, 'cause that's what makes you strong. That's what makes you strong. That's what gives you power. That's what lets the meek come and sit beside the king. That's what lifts us up in our final hour. That's what moves our souls. That's what makes us sing. And to trust somebody can be to be disappointed. what you wanted, and it can happen every time. But if you're the trusting kind, this don't even cross your mind. Oh, it's a funny thing, 'cause that's what makes you strong. That's what makes us strong. That's what gives you power. That's what lets the meek come and sit beside the king. That's what lets us smile in our final hour. That's what moves our souls. That's what helps us sing. Yes, that's what makes us strong. That's what gives us power. That's what lets the meek come and sit beside the king. That's what lets us smile in our final hour. That's what moves our souls. And that's what makes us sing.
So, thank you for being here today. You could be anyplace else, and you chose to be here today. And I'm always grateful for your presence, because you participate in orchestrating what's going to be said. I write a whole bunch of stuff down, and some days I get a little crazy about how I'm going to say it and what I'm going to say and how it's going to be put together, and I should do this and I should do that, and I change my mind so many times. And then I pray on the way here, and then I think, okay, here you are, just show up and see what happens. Just see what happens. And so today, I'm going to talk about your personal reality, but I want to change that, because that seems like I'm talking at you. And really it is about our personal reality and how we craft that. Can you dim those lights? I'm sure it's better for streaming, but I can't see people. I'd like it to be off so I can see the people. Can we do that? Is there a way to do that? Oh, thank you so much. There you are. I like that so much better. So, we craft our own reality, and we can have great intentions about how we want our life to look, but behind that is the unconscious part of us that is funding through our core beliefs what it is that's actually unfolding. And along with that is our feeling nature, the emotional content of what's in that universal or individual field that we live in. Now, just a brief story. I've been in love with something that I can't name since I got here. When I was a little girl, I was a Lutheran and I was in church, and I used to love to sing because I could hear the angels sing too. And I could see colors, and I knew things. Now, as I got older and being a little, and I liked it, I listened to the minister, I listened to the content of what was being said, and then I remember I went to a Billy Graham experience, and I had this very ecstatic experience of being blessed by this whole idea of Jesus Christ, and I fell in love with Jesus Christ, except I didn't read everything the way everybody else did. I kind of picked and choose what I believed. So when they would tell me there's a hell, I'd think, nah, that's not true. And when they said, well, all children have to be baptized or something bad's going to happen to them, and I thought, that's not true either. And so even though I went through the motions of being confirmed and going through the process of memorization and everything, and I remember standing up and sitting down and standing up and sitting down and saying all this stuff, there was this part of me that just knew there was more. there was more to that because I'd had so many experiences that weren't available to the regular public knowledge. Sometimes I would know things, and I would say something to somebody, and their face would drain of the color, and I realized they didn't say that out loud. I just heard them and I answered them. So as I went through life, I started shutting down all of that because, of course, when you go into school and you get into our world, we have to figure out how to belong. And so we sell out sometimes because it can feel like a dangerous world. And I was easily hurt. I was very sensitive. I cried a lot. I cried when I was happy. I cried when I was sad. I cried when I was confused. I cried when I had too much. I cried when I went through female stuff. It was like I was just a leaking sieve of tears. And as I got older, I stopped regarding this as a bad thing. And I had this vision one day of it's much like a river. That sometimes it's calm and then there's a lot of debris in there and the river will just come through and wash it all clean. So whether that's true or not, I believed it was so, and so it was. Because that's the power that we have to create our own reality. When we believe it's so, it is so. That was the power that we were given in the beginning, which was to choose and determine and be part of the creative process. And then as we grow, sometimes things fall apart. Sometimes things get difficult. Sometimes the world is so noisy we want to run and hide because we don't find ourselves a place to be in it. It begins to look foreign. It begins to look like a dangerous place to be. And that's not a bad thing. It just makes us have the opportunity to take our attention from the outside world and put it inside, which is where we are funded by this universal presence. I don't care if you call it Jesus Christ or Buddha or a goddess or a god or Shakti or whatever you call it. Doesn't matter. We've had to have dialogue to be able to communicate. We've had language to communicate, to try and find a way to be in communication with each other without killing us off. You know, and so we go through times of tribulation, of dissonance, because we are ascending the scale of evolution, which means we're becoming more and more bright. We're containing more and more love. We're containing more and more power. We're becoming more aware of the truth of ourselves. And as more and more of us do that, and we anchor that energy into the planet, then what has been buried is coming out. And so it's a trippy experience. We have to do what we can to manage how we manage ourselves. How do we manage the emotional part of us, the intellectual part of us? It's like the stuff that's going away, the stuff that frightens us, things that happen and go, you know, and I'm off and running. You know, my ego's in there, la 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 la. It's got all kinds of things to say, and then I'm looking on my Facebook, and I'm like, wait. Take a breath, Sherry. What is it that you can do? What is it that you are capable of doing right now? And it always is about managing my awareness. Managing how I think, how I feel. And so, you know, sometimes I get up and I'm doing EFT tapping, emotional freedom tapping. I'm meditating. I'm chanting. I'm banging drums. I'm saying prayers out loud. I'm singing. I'm talking to God. I will do whatever I can do to find my way back to my balance point within me. And I know my balance point when it happens. The noise in my head goes away. The noise in my physical body stops bothering me. The dissonance in my emotions are settled. And for a time, I can see life in all its elegance. You know, Deepak Chopra says, in one day, oh no, that's me, excuse me. Well, in one day, we might find ourselves having gone through a number of different feelings and experiences. Even if we do the same thing every day, we're not the same people. We can't be. Because the thing that lives inside us is fresh and new every day. And as much as we try and take the past and bring it here, or take the future and bring it here, the one thing that we can be is here with what is right now in our own awareness. And then you can tap into and ask for help. See, that's the beauty of living in a place. Think about it. How fortunate are we? We're not in jail. I bet all of us can go into our clothing, and we have more clothing than we'll ever use. And we wonder when we're going to share it with somebody else or take the time to get rid of it. And we have more, and we're still able to pay our bills. Maybe sometimes it's a little tough and we don't know where our next meal is going to come from. But mostly, all of us are overflowing with good. I remember when I get really frightened and there's stuff that happens. I was talking with my brother-in-law the other day, and after my husband died, he left me a goodly amount of money in an insurance policy, and then I invested it. And so I had all this money, and my stocks were coming in, and at some point I opened my envelope, and I had lost $150,000. And that's just exactly what happened. Because the stock market had gone, something had happened. And so I spent 2 or 3 days just worried and fretful, and I created all kinds of scenarios in my head about what was going to happen to me and how my life was not going to unfold so perfectly. And I was just kind of a mess. And then I thought, oh, Sherry, you're so funny. How funny are you? Those were lots of zeros. You never saw the money. It was just there. There's less zeros. Okay, let's see. I went into my bedroom. I opened my closet. Still there. I recognized that I was still paying my bills. Food in my cupboard. Electricity. Water out of the, opened the door and went, no, there's no terrorists outside there taking me to jail. What the hell are you doing to yourself? You're making yourself crazy all by yourself because something that happened outside of you that you had put your faith in fell apart. So where do we put our trust? Where do we put our faith? Where do we put what it is that's important for us in order to be the most sane model we can be, so that we can be on this planet being in touch with the best part of ourselves, because that is how we make things change. Not from the outside in, but from the inside out. That's it. That's how we make things happen. And we become the magnets, the magnetic field to draw into our lives. That's what's ours. That's what is ours. And so when something awful happens, I like to think, oh, here's grace. arrived in disguise. Here's love arrived in disguise. You know, I've been challenged, and I'm not supposed to talk about, because I'm a minister, that, and the form of that, and the people of that, but I live in the world, so that sometimes is in my head, and I wake up and I go, oh, really, still? That's still going on? Like, I don't get to just wish it away. The world is still unfolding, and oh yeah, I remember I signed up for this. Oh yeah, even if I didn't consciously sign up for this, I'm here. I showed up, so how am I going to be my best self? That's how we need to ask, what is it that how am I creating my own reality? Am I spending all my time with other people, sharing all the things that are frightful? Or am I just being a good container? I like what the grandmothers say about the divine mother aspect. It's like that energy that holds is the receptacle for everything to move through and transform out of, back into a higher state of awareness, a more beautiful self. So I love that, the divine feminine energy. We're really called to learn how to be in relationship with that, because we look at the world and we recognize that the masculine energy that we've been playing in, not that that's bad, we have both, but it's a little blown up. It's become the monsters in the closet. Yes, disproportionate, that's a good one. So what is it that we can do? So I thought about, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And I see that we have a small community today, so I might just do this. First of all, I want to say this. Possibilities don't have an expiration date. Possibilities are that divine creative medium that is coming through us all the time. Possibilities, possibilities, possibilities. Love doesn't run out. Peace doesn't go away. Wisdom isn't just for a few. Light isn't just for the special. It's all available to us, and yet it's up to us to discover how to be in touch with it. And so I wonder why we waste our time on the fluff, on the stuff that we have no power over. But haven't you seen? What about this and what about that? Well, what about this and what about that? I've only one vehicle, this vehicle right here and now, and the energy in this vehicle is what I will do to contribute to my world. And we're all in different places in the world. Teachers, doctors, lawyers, medicine people, people that are in social services, people that are home by themselves, people that are homeless, people that are on the street, people that don't have it all together. We're all in this together. And what we have in common is our ability to make choices. So why are we spending our fabulous currency on the stuff that makes us feel like shit? Just wondering. I think it's just a bad habit. And it's because it's so loud and noisy. And it's because we've bought the poison. that we're helpless, that we have no power, that the change isn't going to happen, that what we see out there is the only reality. That's the lie. There is a fund of such fabulous energy that's available to us. The younger people that are coming on a planet, I have a grandson who I don't get to see. He's in Colorado a little bit. His name's Castiel. And he has some learning disabilities, and he's doing well. And he has a wonderful family, my son and daughter-in-law, who take care of him wonderful. And he has brothers and sisters. And he is the brightest light I have ever seen. He just knows how to shine. And he knows how to be friends to everybody. And he doesn't, he has his meltdowns and stuff, but he always comes back to that biggest, brightest light that he is. And I think, yes, that. Am I too old to experience that in myself? Oh, hell no. I got that in me. When I was little and I was in church, my papa was a fabulous musician and traveled with big bands all over the countryside. And so he was very proud of me because I had a good singing voice when I was growing up. And so when I was little, my first singing debut was in church. And they were right up front. And I have a very loud voice. Well, I had an even louder voice as a child. So the song was, a sunbeam, Jesus wants me for a sunbeam. And this is how I translated. A son of a bean, Jesus wants me for a son of a bean. And I could see my papa. He was a real tall man. He was about 6'3", and he kept sinking and sinking. And I thought, bless us all. Just don't we have the ability to laugh at ourselves? Isn't that just the best medicine? To laugh at everything that we think is such a bad thing. That we have the ability to, laughter and tears, they're in the same paradigm. They just function a little. They're both healing. They wash things out and they bring something new in. So, how about we do a little meditation today? Would you like to try some of that today? I'm going to bring, my teacher in Science of Mind, 40 years ago. He was a follower of Yogananda, and he went through the whole discourse and the discipleship and so on and so forth. And his teacher was Roy Eugene Davis. And so when he was ready to take his discipleship, Roy Eugene Davis looked at him and went, no, that's not your path. You will use that, but you're to go, he was living in Florida, you're to go to L.A. and you're to study with Dr. Ernest Holmes. Now, I want you to know that this place was part of that original lineage. When you look back into history and ancestry of the New Thought movement, this was part of what my teacher brought. And his teacher, one of his students was Dr. Angelo Pizzello. And this is part of it. So he went and he learned that, but he also brought in the Hindu tradition because he knew the value of meditation. That is, on the planet, there are what I want to call seats of consciousness, or chakras. How many people know about chakras? At least a little bit. They're energy centers. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one. Those are a few of them. There's chakras in the hands. There's chakras in the feet. Now, just like in our physical body, on the planet, there are energy places or chakras. And India is the seat of the soul. That's where the original information came through for us to find ways to be in touch with our soul self. And for millenniums, it was only passed down from student to disciple, master to disciple, disciple to student. And it was very hidden. Well, it's not hidden anymore. And we get to share in it. We get to experience it. So I'd like to take you through a process that I was taught. And I'm taking a mantra from the Deepak Chopra app because that's one of them that I use, and it's easy to access. And so we're going to, there's a story about meditation. And the meditation teacher teaching the student, asked the student, what happens when you let an elephant loose in a marketplace? Oh yeah, it's a nightmare. It is one nightmare. Well, how do you get that elephant to do what you want it to do? You put a log in its trunk, and then you walk in front of it, and you lead it. And so it has something to do with its trunk, so it goes about the business, because the trunk is what gets it into trouble, right? So it's a metaphor for the mind. The mind not given something to do is like, well, I saw a bird on the tree. I remember the bird on the tree. That was what it looked like at my house. Oh, I remember that house. Don't you remember that house? Oh, yeah, that's where my kids and I live. Oh, my kids and I, oh, they had a bicycle. You know, it's what the mind does. If we're not in a state of managing it, it's just loose and all over the place. So a mantra gives the mind something to do. So we start off with a mantra, and then the other thing we do is we watch the breath in the mantra. So we say a mantra when we exhale, and then we say the other part of the mantra when we inhale, and then we watch the breath where it goes from the belly to the chest to up here to the nose. And then after we've done that a while, then we pull that attention up to the third eye, and we do it all at once. And when you do that with intention and you pay attention and your mind goes and you go, oh, the breath, okay, the breath, I'm breathing. Okay, the mantra, I'm mantraing. You do it. You do that over and over. At some point, in between your breath, you'll find that still point. You want to try? Shall we do it? Okay, let's do it. Okay, sit up straight. Get rid of your stuff with your hands. Okay, Joe's not doing it. Are you doing it, Joe? Okay, it's too cold. Okay, I'm going to wait for everybody to get comfortable. Okay, you comfortable, Joe? Is that good? Hey, we got to take care of one another. We all have to take care of one another. Okay. I want you to sit and move back and forth so you can feel your sits bones. Do you feel them? Okay, now your spine comes erect with that. And it's like you got a little teacup and saucer here at your sternum. So that, that little saucer under there, you want to keep it up. When you do that, your shoulders fall back. When you slump over, the energy doesn't have the opportunity to rise up and down the spine to your higher centers. So even if you're sitting in a chair, be as comfortable as you can with your spine erect. And now, if you will, just close your eyes. If you're not a meditator that closes your eyes, just keep your eyes lightly open and look sort of to a place where your eyes are blurry. Okay, so now, here you are, with your eyes closed. Okay, now, I want you to feel your breath as it comes in through your belly, and then follow it up, and you find it in your chest. And then you follow it a little more and you find it in your throat and your nose. And then just follow the breath as it goes out. Now this time, I want you to inhale and make it big in your tummy, and then big in your chest, and then in the upper chest, and then I want you to hold it. A little bit uncomfortable, just hold it, hold it. Now exhale through your nose, then your chest, and then your belly, and then empty your belly till you can feel your belly pull right up against your spine, and then breathe in again. Bringing all that breath all the way up and up and up and up. And when you're done, just hold it for a moment. Hold it. Now exhale again through your nose and just slowly, slowly exhale, exhale, exhale. And one more time. Inhaling, 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 and hold it, hold it. A little bit longer. A little bit longer. Now exhale as slow as you can. And then go back to normal breathing. Now you know what it's like to watch your breath in each set. Belly, chest, neck, nose. That's how the breath travels. Now I want you to bring in the mantra. And the mantra is going to be Om Hreem. It's spelled O-H-N, and the last word is H-R-E-E-M. Om is the word for the primordial energy of the universe, all sound. It's the original sound. Hreem means it is the divine feminine energy. It's the sound of the feminine energy that's associated with the universal. So the inhale now is, start with the inhale again, and as you inhale and then you get to the top and you go to the bottom, it's Om. All the way up. And the exhale is Hreem. And keep your spine erect, your hands empty, and your focus on the mantra. Stay in your meditation. Pull your busy mind back. Watch your breath. Stay with your mantra. draw your attention to your third eye while watching your breath and repeating your mantra. When your attention wanders, bring it back. One more breath with intention. And as you exhale, you can come back to the room and open your eyes at your leisure. I'll wait. Okay, now, just a little taste. This is a portal, an energy vortex set up when you do this to be in touch with your divine source and everything else that's meant for you. When you don't have time for the divine, you set it aside and you use, it's sort of like using a hose that a big rock is on. You might get some energy, but the full source of it is frozen, is stuck. I dare you to meditate for a whole month. I double dare you. I triple dare you. Don't go another day without attending to the thing that made you and loves you. You will find it is your best friend. I remember in the prayers, it's divine, Heavenly Father, beloved Mother, or what is it? Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God. When I started off, because I had come from a Christian background, that was a little uncomfortable. But you know, give yourself permission to stretch. Be uncomfortable. Spend the time that your mind tells you you don't have any or enough of. If you're sleepless till you get away figured out, if you have to set aside something that seems much more important, I dare you to trust this process, and then I'll see you in a month and you can share with me what transpired. So this experience of creating our own reality, we get to. How you get to is up to you. Love you so much.
I don't know about anybody else, but when we go into those meditations and then she says we have to come back, I'm like, I don't wanna. I don't want to. My goodness. Thank you so much for that. So now is our joyful time of giving. So you will notice that if you have one of the chair covers in the back of your chair cover, it has instructions on how you can do this online, and I think I have a slide that tells us this too. Yes, so we have a Venmo QR code that you can scan and make a donation with. We also have a PayPal QR code that's on your cards back there. You can also, which we would absolutely love and appreciate, is setting up a recurring donation, and then that way you don't have to think about it at all, and it helps us. You know, we are so grateful for anything that you donate to us, whether it is money, whether it's time. We wouldn't be able to keep this place going if it weren't for you, and we do have, you know, those fun bills to pay. So we are in so much gratitude for any help that you can give. And then we will also be passing the baskets around. Thank you so much. Just as it says, we can't do it without you. And we will have our final song. Oh, no, wait. Okay. Thank you. I thought there was a final song, though. Okay. I'm a rookie, you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. Mwah. Thank you so much. You want me to? I'll put this back here.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, guys.
Now I forgot what I was supposed to do. Blessing the okay. I have meditation head just like Nicole. All right. So it's time for our wonderful joy of giving experience. I invite you to take your tithes, your offerings, whatever you want to call them, to your heart. And give from your heart what is yours to give. Knowing that as you give, you also receive. Because that's how it works. So I would invite the ushers to bring forth the baskets, pass the baskets, and then bring them to me. And while we're doing that, we're going to hear a wonderful song from Nicole. I mean, Deb. You can sing
Everybody
too.
sing.
We can all sing.
Now I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come. I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one. I believe it could be, someday it's going to come. Peace train, holy rollers, get on the peace train sounding louder, right on the peace train. Ooh-ah, ee-ah, ooh-ah. Come on now, peace train. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump on the peace train. Ooh-ah, ee-ah, ooh-ah. Come on now, the peace train. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides the peace train. Peace train, take this country and bring us home again. Get your bags together, go and bring your good friends too, because it's getting nearer, it soon will be with you. I said, come and join the living. It's not so far from you, and it's getting nearer. Soon it will all be true. I said, peace train, sounding louder, right on the peace train. Ooh-ah, ee-ah, ooh-ah. Come on the peace train. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump on the peace train. Ee-ah, ooh-ah, ee-ah. Come on now, the peace train. Well, I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hurting? We can all live in unity. Peace train sounding louder, right on the peace train. Ee-ah, ooh-ah, ee-ah. Jump on the peace train. Woohoo! And so it is.
Thank you all. Come on up, kiddos. The kids are here. Do we have... Is Marie coming, or are you doing this? Or oh, oh, okay.
Yes, I was here. So today, since we had no teacher, I did not have a book, so we just decided to do arts and crafts. So I pulled out a bucket of like jungle stuff, and they decided to make whatever they made. So, yeah.
Creative time.
They all survived. No, I'm sure you guys did great.
Yeah, they were just fine.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Addie. Thank you, guys. Yes. Shall we sing together? We will sing our final song, The Presence is Here. I love this one. Do you know this one? Great. All right. Over here. Beautiful. The presence is here. The presence is here.
And that's the way we do it, with some joy and fun. Go be the best you know how to be.